but he was not infrequently a victim of sloppy fielding or lack of runs. No matter, he always had a lot of decisions.
One year he lost 20, but he still won his 20, but we just didn't have a club to cope with the quality of pitching that he gave us.
But Tanner did have several strong young players in the 70s.
There's a line drive, deep center, way back, all the way to the wall. Here's the winning runner on third. The White Sox win. The White Sox win it. The White Sox win it. George Arda doubles to the center field wall.
A young fireballing relief pitcher, Goose Gossage, was emerging as a star, and so was the smooth shortstop Bucky Dent. But by 1977, both players would be gone.
What we had to do, and Roland Heeman would trade a player and get some cash to meet the payroll, and we were struggling due to the fact that because of some outside business ventures that John Allen went into didn't quite pan out, and that eventually he had to sell the ball club. But 72 was the year, and we could have kept going, but due to the fact of certain situations that transpired along the way, we had to go in another direction.
John Allen twice kept the White Sox in Chicago. Once when he bought the team from his brother in 1970, and once again when he sold the team to Bill Veeck in 1976. Yes, Bill Veeck was back, and he brought Paul Richards back to manage. And in the spirit of '76, Minnie Minoso also returned as a coach and even extended his hitting streak to 4 decades.
Okay, now this song we're gonna play for Bill Veeck. Here we go.
And here went Bill Veeck once again with his patented promotions. He put short pants on his players, a shower in the bleachers. He had 101 Arabian Nights, and Limbo Night, and Music Night, and Ethnic Night, and Clowns, and Belly Dancers, and all manner of entertainment and diversion at the old ballpark.
It was kind of always fun to go to the park. Even if the ball club was not too good, you could go there and there'd be something going on, somebody parachuting out of the sky, or belly dancers at home plate, or some crazy thing, you know. But it was just enjoyable to go to the park then.
Oh, it was a wild time. Even more enjoyable was the wondrous 1977 season of the Southside Hitmen, led by Richie Zisk, who had 30 home runs and 101 RBIs in his one season as a rent-a-player. Oscar Gamble was another rent-a-player who led the team with 31 home runs. The Sox hammered a team record 192 home runs that season with a .278 team batting average. Another real slugger with 25 homers was Eric Soderholm.
We had about a 3-4 game lead in August, and we had a big series with Kansas City. And it was a weekend series, and we were losing, I think, 5-3 in the 8th inning. And I came up with 2 men on and hit a home run in the bottom of the 8th, and we won that game. And that was the 3rd game we won of the series in a row. The people in the stands were just going crazy in Chicago. They were dancing in the aisles. I mean, the whole 50,000 people were just, you could see everybody jumping and hugging. And it was like a big family reunion almost.
And leading the reunion was Bill Veeck. But the Hitmen would fall short in 1977, and the next year, Gamble and Zisk would be gone, and some old ways would be returning to Comiskey Park. In 1980, Veeck suffered his 3rd straight losing season, and free agency was changing the nature of the game. So in 1981, the Sox were sold to Eddie Einhorn and Jerry Reinsdorf.
Shortly after he bought the team, the reserve clause was struck down and free agency came into existence. Veeck would have been capitalized enough had it not been for free agency, but with the advent of free agency and the rapidly escalating salaries, Bill found himself in a precarious financial position.
The showman will be remembered as much for his irreverence as his gimmicks.
It was kind of fun to stick a pin in some stuffed shirts and then stand aside so you get hit by the hot air.
May the great Bill Veeck rest in peace wherever he is. And I'll tell you, wherever he is, he's probably getting ready for next season. He loved fans. That's the thing that made Bill Veeck so wonderful. And fans are what make this game go. And every city has different kinds of fans. Brooklyn Dodgers fans, that's one kind of fan. People who go to Cleveland games, that's another kind. But Chicago White Sox fans, I know they're my people. I've always felt that if I was a colonel in some devastating war, and up there on the hill was a pillbox manned by 6 deadly soldiers with 50 caliber machine guns, a concrete pillbox that was totally impregnable, and to take that pillbox was a suicide mission. I'd look over the company from one end to the other, and then I would call out, "Are there any of you here who are White Sox fans? Follow me." And those 6 White Sox fans would line up behind me, and we would go up that hill to take the pillbox. White Sox fans are that kind of fan. They have gone 50 years, 100 years between pennants. Doesn't matter. Rain, snow, earthquake, hurricane, they're going to stick with the Sox. That's a true fan, a true White Sox fan.
I'm here 52 years. I've seen all the big league baseball players. Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Teddy Williams, and all the rest. Lou Apple, Teddy Lyons, I've seen them all. Baricha had the baby, his wife had the baby the same day I did. We were in the same hospital, and we went to visit each other.
Yeah, White Sox fans do think of the team as family, and the people who work at Comiskey Park are a special part of that family. And when I personally think of them, I remember one clarion call. Buttered all over, buttered all over. That was the booming call of Buttered All Over Ernie, one of the great vendors of all time. You know, if there's an all-star heaven for really sensational vendors, Ernie's up there in the all-star lineup. He's selling popcorn, he's selling peanuts to the gods, booming out, "Buttered all over." You'd hear him all through the stadium and on the radio, and fans wanted him to come to their section so that they could buy a bag of popcorn directly from Buttered All Over Ernie. He was a star. What a treat. Another treat at Comiskey Park, Nancy Faust, who introduced the famous Nana chant.
Nana started in 1977 when we were vying for first place and playing Kansas City. And it was right in the middle of summer, and the fans were just revved up for playing against a contender, which was Kansas City. That's when it all started, and it was just, the effects were so awesome that we kept using it.
In 1981, new Sox owners appeared on the scene.
My old law school roommate, Jerry Reinsdorf, called me one day and asked me if I'd like to come in with him. He's got a chance to buy the White Sox. I've always been a baseball fan and was a vendor in Comiskey Park during the victory year of 1959 and was at all the World Series games. And I thought it over, and the timing was right. And the first thing I said, we're going to make this not the Southside team, which I didn't think was a good way to market it. This is Chicago's American League team. And that was one of the first things we did.
One of the next things they did was to dip into the free agent market and come up with a plum, Carlton Fisk.
The signing of Carlton Fisk changed the attitude of Chicago towards the White Sox. I mean, this team was the Rodney Dangerfield of baseball. It got no respect. And when a player of Carlton Fisk's caliber decided he was going to come to the White Sox, it sent a message to people that we were for real and we really wanted to win, and it was the dawning of a new era. And Carlton Fisk turned out to be that rare kind of player who plays hard because of pride. And he really and truly, more than any player I think that we've had here, is the symbol of what we tried to do, the symbol of a new era.
They also purchased from the Phillies slugger Greg Lazinski, who brought with him his special brand of long ball.
Left-hander to the belt. Elkers looks at first. There goes Pachorik. The pitch is swung on and hit high and deep to left field. Way up. It is on the rub. He did it. Lazinski hit the top of the rub.
What a shot. A new excitement filled the old ballpark as the Sox thrilled fans with power, pitching, and speed. Then in 1983, a new power source joined the team, rookie Ron Kittle. Manager Tony La Russa's White Sox got off to a slow start that season, but the performance of young Harold Baines and the trade during the season for speedy Julio Cruz sent the team on a tear. Catcher Carlton Fisk handled a group of superb starting pitchers, and for Sox fans, a new slogan was coined as the team was winning ugly.
I want to be on top, forever on the up and damn the competition. Back in the dressing room, the other side is weak bind. And we're winning, Arthur. And we're winning, Arthur. And we're winning, Arthur. That's all right. Winning, Arthur.
At mid-season, the All-Star Game's 50th anniversary was held at the park of the first All-Star Game. The White Sox had been represented by some great players in previous All-Star Games, and this year their rookie sensation Ron Kittle drew tremendous cheers from the hometown fans. And to top off a memorable day, the American League would ride to victory on the shoulders of Chicago native Fred Lynn's Grand Slam home run, the first in All-Star history. Just as Babe Ruth had hit the first All-Star home run 50 years before, a new first happened at Comiskey Park. The magic continued in the second half of the season as Sox pitching proved virtually unbeatable. Then, on September 17th, another long championship drought was ended.
Harold Baines has driven in 2 of the 3 White Sox runs here tonight, and he's got a chance to make it 3 of the 4 as the bases are loaded with 1 out. And the Mariners are going to pull their infield in. The outfield is playing shallow. Here's the pitch to Baines. Swinging a fly ball. This will be in. Center fielder's got it. Cruz is tagged. Here's the throw. Not in time. Stop win. The White Sox have won the 1983 American League Western Division title.
99 victories, the most in the majors, and they finished a record-setting 20 games ahead of second-place Kansas City in the kind of season players and fans dream of.
Just once in a lifetime, a man knows a moment, one wonderful moment, when fate takes his hand, and this is my moment, my once in a lifetime, when I can explore a new and exciting land. For once in my lifetime, I feel like a giant. I soar like an eagle, as though I had wings. For this is my moment, my destiny calls me, and though it may be just once in my lifetime, I'm gonna do great things. And this is my moment, my once in a lifetime, when I can explore a new and exciting land. For once in my lifetime, I feel like a giant. I soar like an eagle, as though I had wings. For this is my moment, my destiny calls me, and though it may be just once in a lifetime, I'm gonna do great things.
In the championship series against Baltimore, Cy Young Award winner Lamar Hoyt opened for the Sox. He pitched a masterful 2-1 5-hitter to give Chicago a 1-0 lead in the best-of-5 series. But this would be the high water mark of the season, as the Sox would drop the next 2 games to the Orioles. Britt Burns then took the mound as the last hope in Game 4. Burns pitched a full 9 innings of shutout ball, but then in the 10th, Tito Landrum ended Chicago's season with this home run. Harold Baines would soon emerge as a true star in the American League, combining great power with high batting average and excellent run production to become one of baseball's most explosive players. In 1985, the great Tom Seaver wore a White Sox uniform as he won his 300th game at Yankee Stadium.
High to left, playable. Reed Nichols, caps underneath it. History.
Yes, sir, it was a memorable day for Seaver and for the White Sox, and the congratulations of his catcher, Carlton Fisk, was especially fitting as the 16-year veteran also posted an outstanding 1985. At age 37, Fisk found dramatic new power.
That's deep to left field. On the roof, Carlton Fisk on the roof, and the Sox take a 3-2 lead. Roof shot by Fisk.
Wow. Fisk tied Dick Allen's team home run record with 37 and set a new record for home runs in one season by catchers. Then, in 1986, pitcher Joe Cowley worked the latest White Sox magic.
Ground ball to short. Could be 2. Cowley has a no-hitter.
And the great parade of White Sox players goes on. Oh, they were all great. I mean, some were greater than others, but they were all White Sox, and this is where they pulled their socks on before every game. I hope you've enjoyed this little trip through the mystique of this wonderful American institution, the Chicago White Sox, Comiskey Park. This park is going to disappear shortly. This clubhouse will be history one day, but hundreds of years from now, they'll know who the White Sox were, and the fan will march on. I'm Gene Shepard, and all I have to say to you fans that are still out there right now, you keep the faith.